So my philosophy when it comes to questions like this is you're either one of two types of people. You're either the type of person that likes to say, buy once, cry once, and quality over quantity, or you're the type of person that likes to say, just as good. So basically what it comes down to is, realistically, you got to look into your collection, or if you want to start a collection, and really round out what it is you want out of your collection. Because when I first started getting into knives, I got a Spyderco Delica, and then I was like, ooh, I want a paramilitary 2, a paramilitary 3, and I was almost like checking off boxes. You know, I wanted a OTF, I wanted a full-size knife, a compact knife. You know, I just wanted something in every category. And then as I started collecting, buy, selling, and trading, I realized that I didn't need a knife in every category, and I really started to narrow down my tastes. And that's another big thing when it comes to this, is you got to narrow down your taste and what you like. So as you can see, I kind of have a style of what I like. The only one that really deviates from that is going to be my Spyderco Para 3, which this was only I think it was like the third knife I ever got, and it was the first time I ever spent over like $100 on a knife. Obviously it didn't come like this. It came with just like the black grips, standard clip on there. I have a Lynch Northwest clip as needed on all Spyderco Para 3s, and I got RC Blade Works black micarta scales with the Mexican blanket inlay. Man, he went crazy on these, man. It's just, I love this knife, and I couldn't get rid of it. You know, honestly, I don't carry this knife at all. I don't remember the last time I carried it, because I prefer a knife more in like this style, like the Benchmade, a little bit more slimline, drop point, thumb stud. It's typically what I go for. So I like the way it feels in pocket. It's just very slim, easy to carry. I like a minimal carry. I like things that are slim, lightweight, compact, easy to carry when it comes to everything in my EDC. So this is a lot more, these 4 knives here are more representative of my taste, as I kind of narrowed down what I really wanted out of a knife and what was realistic for me. But yeah, the reason I can't get rid of this is because, I mean, look at it, dude. It looks amazing. I mean, I love these handles, so I couldn't go wrong with the Mexican blanket, man. I mean, when my hands are oiled up, it looked nice, real good contrast, but I just don't carry it because of the profile of the blade. But I gotta have it in the collection, man. Maybe it'll go to one of my kids one day or something like that. But what this comes down to is, it's really, I know you're gonna hate me saying this, but it's gonna be personal preference, because obviously I got this knife here. This is my Chris Reeve Small Sabenza Bog Oak inlay. This one is in Magna Cut, and I got an Urban EDC Supply lanyard there, bead. This thing is awesome. I love it. I don't typically go for lanyards, but for some reason on the Chris Reeve it just felt right. So I mean, obviously I felt like that was worth it. You know, I had up to 12, maybe 15 knives at one point in my collection, and finally decided that, you know, I wanted to narrow it down, sell some, get a Chris Reeve instead of having a bunch of Spydercos and Benchmades. So I obviously thought the Chris Reeve was worth it, but I mean, there's one missing. I mean, I had a Small Sabenza in black micarta with a Damascus blade, and I carried that for a while. I thought that was going to be my EDC and I was going to love it. But, you know, after a couple weeks or days or whatever of carrying it, I did not have it very long. I found out it was more aesthetic for me, and the Damascus, you know, the juice wasn't really worth the squeeze for me on that one. And some people only collect Damascus. So you just got to figure out what you want out of your collection and just narrow down your taste. You know, try some things. Don't be afraid to buy a knife and then lose $15, $20 because you got to let it go. You know, I did a lot of that. You know, I did a lot of buying and selling and trading in the Facebook groups and on Discord. Like I said, my collection was huge at one point. I did a lot of catch and release type stuff, but you know, it really helped me to get different types of knives in my hand and figure out what I like carrying, what is the most useful to me on a daily basis, and just what I like carrying and what is aesthetically pleasing to me. Because I mean, that does, you know, play a part, because, you know, I said the Damascus wasn't worth it, whereas, you know, paid extra to get this E-Knives exclusive, the honeycomb texture right there. And some people would say, why would I not just get the standard Rockwall with the ridges on it? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. So why would you spend the extra money to get this? And I'm like, because I like it, because it looks good, man. Let's look at the Benchmade. This is my bug out I got from the custom shop. Got a little rose on there next to the Benchmade logo. I wanted it to look like it was factory. I didn't want to do like a big giant like blade design or anything like that. This is in S90V and charcoal gray handles. Deep carry pocket clip. Yeah, I love this one. This was my EDC for a very long time. I carried this everywhere I went, dressed up, casual, to the range, whatever. Like that was my EDC, dedicated EDC for a long time, and I absolutely love that knife. But now it's kind of, it rotates in with the Chris Reeves in terms of my everyday carry. Right now I got this sorted from least to most expensive, and I say that because this is obviously fully custom, so it wasn't cheap at the end of the day, but it is a Spyderco Para 3 when I started out. But let's go ahead and sort this by least to most carried. So I'll have my least carried on the left and my most carried on the right. So basically my EDC is the Chris Reeves Sebenza in S35VN, I believe, or S45VN, whichever one this is, I don't remember. But I do have another Urban EDC bead on there. This one with the natural micarta. I love this knife. I mean, I carry it everywhere I go. It's nice to just hand to people. People know how to use the frame lock. It's very easy for people to use if I need to give someone my knife. And I mean, it's a Chris Reeve at the end of the day. So I mean, I feel good carrying it. It's easily my most carried knife in the collection. And then after that, it definitely would be the bug out. Just another good EDC option, 3-inch blade. Obviously, I prefer about a 3-inch blade that's just, like I said, slim, compact, good EDC. This one's super lightweight, so if I'm wearing shorts or I just want to be a little bit more minimal with my carry, I'll typically go for that. These two are for when I'm getting dressed up. So I got the, I believe it's the bead blasted finish on this one, and the sand blasted finish on the natural micarta. So this one kind of eats away at my pants a little bit. My jeans kind of got a rip in them now from carrying this all the time, but this one is nicer for when I'm wearing my performance pants or my slacks or dress pants. This doesn't tear up my pockets. It's a lot more smooth, and the bog oak is it just screams class, man. It's just a very nice knife. So I like carrying this when I'm dressed up, but also if I want to be more slimline and compact than that, I like to carry the Rockwall. Or even if I just don't want the bead sticking out and I'm like at a wedding or something where I don't really want to draw that much attention to what's in my pocket, I'll carry something like this because of that super deep carry pocket clip. Probably one of my, I mean, this probably is my favorite pocket clip that I got in my collection. Tactile Knife Co. really knocked it out of the park with this one. I love this pocket clip, so shout out to the boys in Texas for that. But yeah, I mean, really you gotta, I would say don't know what you like until you get it in your hand. I can't tell you if this is worth it, because I mean, obviously to me it was worth it. I got 2 of them, but at some point I had 3 of them and I thought one of them wasn't worth it. So I mean, it just comes down to what you like. I mean, there are people that wouldn't carry anything in this collection just because it's too small. So if you got big hands, obviously you got to go for the bigger version of all these knives. But you really just got to narrow down your taste, figure out what's important to you, and try some stuff, man. Like, don't be afraid to get out there and try some stuff. I mean, if you really want a Microtech, but you don't know if you could EDC and OTF, man, try to find a friend who's got one, or just ask around, you know, and see if you can buy one and maybe get rid of it real quick. But yeah, be prepared to take a loss. Or like I said, try to see if you got a friend who's got something like that for you to check out. But man, I mean, I don't even know how to end a video like this, because I really want to help people out and give people better answers and stuff like that. But really, you got to get this stuff in hand. It doesn't compare. Every YouTube video with the specs about how thick they are and stock, all the grind and all that stuff like that, like none of that can tell you how it feels in hand. I've been so excited to get certain knives in, and you know, I couldn't wait to carry it, and I was so excited, but I carry it for a while and I'm like, man, this just isn't for me. So get out there, get some knives in your pockets. Y'all carry with purpose, and I'll see you on the next one.